Grognard here. Today I want to talk about pre-gens, pre-generated characters. Now, there are, I like pre-gens. They save a lot of time. This is not saying that I wouldn't let a player write up his own character, but usually I'm playing in games that are like one-shots, or especially at conventions. Um, if I'm playing with new people who don't know the game but want to learn, you bet I'm going to have pre-gens. Um, Pre-generated characters. Now, it depends on the system. I'm going to basically focus on OSR type games, mostly fantasy, the D&Ds, the RuneQuest, the Tunnels and Trolls, things like that. I mean, I have yet to see. I'm sure there's GMs out there, but I have yet to see anybody do pre-gens for like champions. That's a whole different thing, and that's a whole different podcast in itself. Um, but anyway, doing pre-gens. How many pre-gens do you think you need? Well, you look at your scenario. Say you have a published scenario, and it recommends X amount of people at X level. So you write up those X level. I read a lot of like first, second, third level adventures. So I write up first, second, third level characters. The biggest one I've had is fourth level, and I wrote up some fourth levels, and we went to town on Castles and Crusades. And you know, how many people do you want at the table? Now that's basically a convention concern. But if you have X amount of people at the table, I would do two pre-gens for every person at the table. Um, the range of pre-gens. Now, in most OSR games, you have a core number of classes. And I'm not going to deal with race. I'm going to just deal with class. Because race is, a little bit more personal to the player. And it's easier to say, okay, I want to play a dwarf. Now I want to play an elf. Okay, make it a dwarf or an elf. We'll look up in the books. If there's any pluses, you'll get them. And you go to town. So it's not a big deal. As far as classes go, you've got the fighter, mage, thief, cleric. Boom. Those are the four core classes for most of the class and level OSR D&D type games. Even with Tunnels and Trolls, minus the cleric. So I would write up those and maybe throw in a few wild cards, like for Castles and Crusades, I did up a barbarian, a monk, and a couple illusionists, just to make it interesting. And they're not, if they're in the core books, they are not going to unbalance it rather, depending on the levels you're working with. Like for instance, and as far as the players go, you just say, here they are, choose. You want to make adjustments? We'll do that, really quick. Because if you play a dwarf, you get a strength boost. If you play an elf, you get a dex boost and all that kind of stuff. And of course, you're going to get the class boost too. Now, as far as classes go, um, I'll get to that when I show you how to fill it out. First of all, character sheets. Okay. Character sheets, full-size character sheets, beautiful. Okay. But I prefer half size or smaller. These are my Tunnels and Trolls character sheets. They are a half size, like so. Okay? And, it's got all the information on one side. I don't mind double-sided. In fact, I love double-sided. Here's the original Tunnels and Trolls character sheet. But, in fact, Tunnels and Trolls you used to be able to fit on a index card, which is not a bad idea for most games if you're doing pre-gens and you just want to get them up and running. These are single-sided. Like I said, double-sided is okay. In fact, I'm going to show you something right now that I like to use when I'm playing basic D&D. These cards here that I came up with are my basic D&D pre-gen. Actually, they're regular character sheets, but I use these. These are great for pre-gens. Great for pre-gens because they got everything you need on there. I based it off the old D&D sheets. And, I did them 4 up so I could cut them into quarters, approximately index card size, and it's got all the info on it. Now, let me show you how to fill it out, and this goes for most of the games. Most of the games I'm talking about. First of all, this is what the DM should fill out: the class, the level, the hit points, the basic stats, their pluses or minuses, and the special skills. Now let's break this down. First of all, class. Like I said, if you got two pre-gens for every player that's going to be there, you got 4 people, do 8. You got 6 people, do 12. And if you do it this way, it's really easy to do. Class speaks for itself. Level, whatever range you're using, whatever range you want, first to third, third to fifth, whatever. I leave the arbor class blank because that'll change. Hit points. Now, I tend to like to give hit points. I tend to give full hit points at first level. So if I'm doing a second or third level game, I will write in whatever it is, first, second, third, whatever level, I will write in whatever hit die that class has, and that's your hit points. Roll the rest. That's your base hit points. Strength, intelligence, wisdom, etc., etc., etc. Pretty self-explanatory. The pluses or minuses, whatever in the book. Saving throws. Saving throws are kind of important because especially if people don't know what saving throws are. Now, once again, if somebody wants to play a different, something non-human, and some people do. In fact, I just noticed on my sheet I don't have any race category, but that's okay. It still works. Because basic is race and race is class. Duh. Special skills. Okay, this is where you're going to want to put like the thieving skills or the cleric's turning ability or anything special that the class can do. No problem, right? So that's it. And here is the back side, which is similar, but all you have to do is fill in normal items and their money. And that is optional. You can always let them roll the money. You can let them pick stuff. It's really handy if you have like adventures packs for the different classes, which I do. And just write down adventures pack or just look at the thing and go, okay, you got this stuff. You could do that. And then let them roll. I'd let them roll the money. So they say, you can say, okay, because the packs cost X amount of gold pieces. So what I do is, okay, just deduct that from what you have. And if you got less than that, well, you owe somebody something. Actually, I'll just hand wave at that point. But that's all you get. Now, going back here, there's also space for magic items. You also have the option of giving each character what they call a gimme or something like that. Well, okay, you want them to start out, give them a +1 dagger or a wand of magic missiles with 3 charges in it or something like that. Something small. You can do that. Some DMs like doing that. I don't mind doing it. I just don't think of it. If they ask, I can probably do it. But it's really easy. Like I said, it's really easy to do. Here you go. Class, level, hit points, stats, pluses or minuses, saving throws, special skills, normal items, money. Boom. That's it. You're done. Okay. And I can knock these out. I can really knock these out. Like I sit down and I just roll stats. I do the 4d6, throw one away and then put wherever you want. So I just roll like, say, 6 stats at once. And I just match them up. I say, okay, this guy's going to be this guy's going to be that. So, and like in basic, you're going to get like, he's a dwarf. Why? Because he's a dwarf. There's no, it's racist class, boom. But you can do that with like first edition, second edition, Castles and Crusades, Labyrinth Lord, you name it, you could do it. So, you knock these out and you always, I've got somewhere around here, I've got a file box with these cards in them of nothing but pre-gens. Then if I don't have time to do it, I just raid the box. And when I get time, I just write some more out. So that's pretty much what I feel about pre-gens. Pre-gens are great. And also, if, once the game gets going, after a while, like my current Castles and Crusades group, they picked pre-gens because they'd played 5th edition, but they'd never played Castles and Crusades. And I said, well, I'm going to do CNC because I don't want to run 5e, but CNC is damn close. So the learning curve is really small. So I made pre-gens. I tossed them out. They played them for like 1-2 sessions. And I said, you guys got the option of making your own characters. I mean, you don't have to be, I just did this to get you guys up and running because my group tends to have like a 3-hour time window. So I just wanted to get them going. And they're going, no, these are great. These are great. We love them. We got like a dwarf monk. We got a barbarian, all kinds of neat things. Anyway, that's my take on pre-gens. I hope that helped you. Don't forget to drop me a line at goldmangrognard@gmail.com. So I'll see you next time. Bye.